Hi everyone, welcome back to the Mode Report YouTube channel, your report on all things fashion and lifestyle. In today's video we are going to be talking about the areas of your wardrobe to prioritise when it comes to higher quality items. I think in an ideal world you'd have everything in your wardrobe be of really high quality. I feel like that probably goes without saying, but that's not always very realistic. Usually quality comes with a higher price tag, and even if you're shopping secondhand, it's not always the most convenient way of shopping. So in this video I'm going to talk to you about the areas of your wardrobe where I think it's worth spending a little more money on buying those higher quality items, because those are the pieces that are going to last longer in your wardrobe and give your wardrobe a more elevated feel overall. So if you're in a position where you want to start adding a few more higher quality pieces to your wardrobe for whatever reason that may be, whether it's from a sustainability point of view, to lower your own consumption in the long run, or purely just because you want to, these are the pieces that I would prioritize spending a bit more money on to give you better quality, longevity, and improve your outfits in the long run. When it comes to knowing whether something is good quality, it usually comes down to three things. And the first one of those is your materials. And most of the time you're looking for natural fibers, or basically non-synthetic fibers. Things like leather, cotton, cashmere, those kind of materials. I do think there is place for synthetic fibers, especially when it comes to things like activewear and weather water resistant pieces, you know, outerwear for example. There is a time and a place for those kind of materials. I don't want to discard them completely, but for your everyday wardrobe items, natural fibers is the best way to go. Secondly, you want to look at how your clothing is made. So you want your materials to feel soft and comfortable. The stitching should be neat and tidy, no loose threads. The stitching should be quite tight and not too gappy. And then when it comes to your hardware, you want those to feel of good quality, weighty, sturdy, sewn in well, basically just not feeling flimsy. And finally, how does it wear over time? If you're washing something, does the fabric hold its shape? Does it still feel the same quality as when you bought it, or does it diminish quite quickly? Does it stay the same color? Do your whites stay white? That's always a big one for me. And when it comes to your handbags and shoes, accessories, do they chip? Do they lose the color? Does the fabric peel? That would be usually the case in synthetic materials. So those are the kind of things to keep an eye on. So starting with the first item of clothing, which I think is worth prioritizing quality, and that is a white t-shirt. And my credentials here are that I have bought a lot of white t-shirts in my time, so I've definitely got a bit of experience. What you want with a white t-shirt is something that is quite thick and not see-through, something that holds its shape, whether that is a boxy shape or something more slim-fitting. That part is a little bit subjective. The material needs to be soft and it needs to stay white, because chances are you'll probably wash a white t-shirt a lot purely because stains will show up quicker. So it needs to be able to be resistant to it being washed quite a few times. My favorite white t-shirt is the COS Clean Cut t-shirt. It is the best white t-shirt that I found on the high street. Everything about it does what it needs to do. It is a great shape for what I'm looking for. It's a loose fit, boxy t-shirt. It's not too long, so it's great for tucking. It's just really well designed. It's kind of everything that I am looking for in a t-shirt. Quality wise, it's 100% organic cotton. It's very, very soft. It's comfortable and movable. It's a thick fabric, but without feeling stiff and rigid. It's very flexible and soft. And I think that is a big difference maker. You can probably buy thick t-shirts, but sometimes the fabric might not be quite as soft, and then when you wash it, it's just gonna feel more and more rigid as time goes on, so that's definitely something to keep an eye on as well. I've had this for maybe a year and a bit at this point. I think I've had it for 2 summers, which is generally when I get the most wear out of white t-shirts, just because it's not a very warm layer. But during that time I have worn it so many times, washed it so many times. I also fake tan a lot, so it does need washing, because usually the tan just ends up on my clothes regardless of whether I've washed it off or not. But the point is, it washes really well, it's kept its shape, and it has stayed very white and pristine, which is exactly what you're looking for. So the next area of my wardrobe that I quite like to prioritize quality is denim. If you're a returning viewer to this channel, you will know that I absolutely love the Levi's ribcage straight jeans. They are my favorite jeans of all time. And the reason that I love this pair of jeans so much is because of the sizing. I'm someone who is particularly tall. I'm 5'10", so I can often find that maybe other places on the high street like Zara, H&M, somewhere where you can get much more affordable jeans that a lot of the time are pretty good quality. I'm definitely not dismissing that at all. I just find that the sizing can be a little bit tricky to work with. So I find that it's more worth my while to go somewhere like Levi's or Under the Stories, where you can get a combination of waist and leg length. And for me, it's a much better purchase over time, because having the sizing be bang on and having a pair of jeans that fits pretty much perfect just gives me so much more outfit variation and options. And I know that I can go to that pair of jeans at any point and they're gonna look great with an outfit because they fit so well. If you're going somewhere like Under the Stories or Levi's, you'll probably be looking in the 80 to 100 pounds bracket, which is very expensive for jeans. That's a lot of money. And as I said, I do think you can get pretty good jeans from Zara, H&M, Mango, Marks and Spencer's. But I will say my Levi's jeans and my Under the Stories jeans are such great quality. I do see a difference. For a start off, the material is so much more soft and flexible and therefore comfortable as well, which is important if you're going to be wearing jeans for a long time, because a lot of the time denim can feel pretty stiff and rigid and it doesn't really make you want to wear it all day because it's just not comfortable in the slightest. But I never find my Levi's jeans uncomfortable at all. Even my ribcage ones that are pretty tight and high-waisted, they're still a really soft denim. They also wash really well. They don't come out of the wash feeling stiff. They don't lose any colour, fade or go patchy. They still look very pristine and brand new, and I wear them a lot and therefore wash them quite a lot. The hardware is really high quality, really well sewn in buttons. Nothing feels flimsy or loose. There's the Levi's badge on the back, which is, for me, I guess more of a novelty thing, but it does make the jeans feel pretty high quality. I think if you're someone who wears jeans a lot during their everyday life, I do think it's worth going and finding a pair that will stand the test of time. Knitwear, I think, is the biggest difference maker when it comes to a spend or a splurge, but I do also think that it's one of the most costly, because I think a lot of high street stores sell knitwear that is primarily polyester or acrylic, but still charge within the region of around £40, which is a lot of money for synthetic materials. And if you go and you buy your natural fibres, you're probably paying double and then some more on top of that, depending on the quality. It is a big difference maker. Your natural materials like wool, cashmere, merino wool, alpaca, they are going to keep you so nice and warm in the winter, but they're also quite breathable materials, which means that they're more versatile for year-round wear, especially in comparison to your synthetic materials, which are a little bit more clammy feeling and less ventilated, which might mean that they're less comfortable to wear year round. You'll also notice a big difference in how real wool and synthetic wool washes. You'll find that synthetic fibres lose their shape much quicker and are a lot more prone to bobbling. And that isn't to say that real wool is immune to bobbling, because it's definitely not. I have a fair few wool pieces in my wardrobe at the moment, and I do find that they do need a little bit of a debobble every now and then. And the best thing you can do is just get yourself a fabric shaver, because it's a great investment and will keep all of your wool pieces looking really fresh and pristine for much longer. I will leave the one that I use in the description because it's fantastic. I've used a couple at this point, and this one is just from Amazon and it's rechargeable, and it's the best one that I've used. It's just, I mean, I don't really know what else to say other than it's just really good, so I'll leave it in the description. You can also do a little test to see if the wool piece that you're buying is of good quality, because sometimes it might not be, and in that case it might be a little bit more prone to bobbling and losing its shape. So the way that you can tell whether your wool is good quality is by first and foremost inspecting the fabric. You want a nice tight weave of material, and you can also give it a little bit of a stretch as well, and it should bounce straight back into place rather than leave it feeling a bit out of shape and flimsy. I think if you are looking for a handbag for everyday use, something that's going to get a lot of wear out of, you're carrying a lot of things, you need it to be strong and resistant, I do think leather is the way to go. If you're someone who doesn't buy leather, I will put a little stamp on the screen so that you can skip this section and just move on to the next one. When it comes to leather, it will be much sturdier and therefore last longer and wear really nicely over time. So when you're looking for a leather handbag, the things you want to keep an eye out for are a nice, soft and flexible material that's going to be comfortable to wear and, as I said before, wear nicely over time. You want to keep an eye out for nice tight stitching that's going to make the bag sturdy and durable when you're carrying things around in it all day. It should also have strong, high quality zippers and buttons, just basically nothing that feels flimsy. You might find that faux leather tends to peel or crack with excessive use, so that's why I think leather is a really good option to go for if you're needing an everyday bag. But I do think that there can be a time and a place for your faux leather or just generally cheaper end of the scale bags, especially when it comes to occasions or nights out or just basically anywhere where you're not using the bag excessively and it's going to diminish the quality. The same advice applies to shoes as well. I think leather boots and loafers will just last so much longer in your wardrobe, especially if they are for everyday use. I think occasion shoes that you're not wearing very often, I don't think it really matters as much because they're not going to get excessive wear. They will be absolutely fine. But if you're wearing them to work or wherever it is that you go every day, I think investing in leather shoes is the way to go. They're also going to be much more comfortable, a more movable, softer fabric that's going to actually make you want to wear them, probably give you less blisters. I think a lot of faux leather can be quite tough and stiff and just not very comfortable to walk around in. You can also get your shoes resoled as well. So if you have a pair of leather shoes that have worn quite nicely on top, they're still in pretty good condition, but maybe the sole has worn down because obviously that's just what happens. You can get them resoled, and that's a much less expensive way of getting some new shoes because chances are the leather on top will wear quite nicely and last a really long time, but the soles probably will need replacing every few years maybe. Finally, let's talk about jewellery. I think costume jewellery is a great affordable way of pairing statement jewellery with your outfits for special occasions, times that you want to dress up, or just wear something that's more fun and statement. It's a really affordable, fun way to do that and add character to your outfits. However, if you are wanting jewellery for every day that you can wear time and time again, that's going to last you years to come, I don't think costume jewellery is the best option for that, because it tends to be either plastic or cheaper metals like brass that have a very thin gold plating, which can very easily chip the more that you wear it, and often it can give you skin irritation as well. You might find that if you've ever had rings from maybe like high street stores, for example, that the more you wear them, they turn your fingers green or your ears green if they're earrings. So I think for everyday use, you want to go for something like gold vermeil, and it is a much cheaper option than fine jewellery or solid gold jewellery. Gold vermeil is basically a sterling silver base with a gold coating on top that is thicker than you would find on costume jewellery, but it's still a coating. And it basically means that it's a more affordable way of wearing gold jewellery. And I have mostly gold vermeil pieces. I think I have a couple of costume jewellery as well, which I just kind of wear for evenings out, you know, like big statement earrings, that sort of thing. But for every day, I love gold vermeil, and it can vary in price a little. I love places like Misoma and Missouri because that is primarily what they sell, but if you ever go on their website, you'll find that the price bracket is really one end of the scale right to the other. I've seen jewellery ranging from around £40 to about £300, and obviously that's because the quality varies quite a lot. I always exclusively shop at the very bottom of that price bracket, and the jewellery from places like Misoma and Missouri are amazing. They have really great quality pieces, and I wear them day after day. Amazing quality, and they don't tarnish, they last, and they're just great for everyday wear. So that is everything that I wanted to discuss in this video. I really hope you guys have found it helpful. If you have, then please do like this video, leave me a comment and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!